Did you know that women are twice as likely to give up on their gym membership as men are? Now, the main reasons for that are that a lot of women find gyms pretty intimidating, and if you do get a chance to work with a trainer, they often give you programming that is so complicated, it's really serving their ego more than it's serving your goals. Hi, my name's Kamina Sue, and in this video I'm going to share with you simple and effective programming for your strength training that you can either do at a gym or you can do at home. So the simple sequence that I'm about to show you is really time effective, because what we're going to be doing are full body exercises. And the first exercise we're going to be doing is something for our lower body. So first of all, I would advise you to invest in a set of mini bands. These are the mini bands and resistance bands. Okay, so with resistance bands, they can come in different thicknesses. This is a good versatile thickness. It's not too strong and gives you and not too light. And this one here is also a good weight as well for mini bands. So you want to get a variety of bands depending on what exercise you're going to be doing, and also as you get stronger you'll need more resistance. So the first exercise I'm going to show you for the lower body is a body weight squat. So you want to have a mini band around your thighs. I'm just going to turn side on here. The most important thing if you're new to strength training is to kind of think about creating muscular activation and being really aware of that. Okay, so we're not blasting through something just to kind of get out of breath and kind of tire ourselves out. What we want to do is we want to actually create mind-muscle connection, and by doing that you'll start to really master the movement form. So here in a bodyweight squat, you want to make sure that your feet are slightly turned out and you've got some tension on the band. You also want to make sure that you're pressing your big toes into the ground. Okay, I like to place what's called a non-violent fist or a Himsa fist in the opposite hand. That just helps to engage, help to keep my back engaged. I'm taking an inhalation coming down, exhalation coming up. Inhaling down, exhaling, inhaling and exhaling. So as you are using a band here, you want to make sure that you're keeping tension throughout the entire range of movement. So as you get stronger, you might want to start doing what's called a goblet squat, where you're holding a kettlebell in front of you like so, and then loading the spine and continuing on with your good squat form. Or if you have access to a barbell and a squat rack, you might want to think about starting to do barbell back squats. But if you have an excessively curved upper back, that might feel really uncomfortable. So just keep front loading the spine, and you can do that by either doing what's called a landmine squat, where you're holding the end of a barbell, the other end is on the floor and holding that, or you can also do a front squat as well. This next exercise here you can do instead of a squat is the deadlift. So here, using a resistance band, I'm going to go ahead and place my feet in the center of the band, and here I'm sitting back into my hips, inhaling here, spreading the floor apart with my feet, exhaling, coming up. So the band's providing that resistance. Inhaling down, exhaling. Now, much as you were doing with your squat, which is remember, it's an entirely different movement pattern. Here you're not squatting, you're actually what's called deadlifting. You want to keep that muscular activation by feeling like you're keeping the tension through the entire movement. So that's actually what makes these banded versions of these exercises just so incredibly effective, because you're continuously having the muscle be under tension. In this case, several muscles. This really works the posterior chain or your back body incredibly well. Now, to progress the deadlift, you could either thread some dumbbells and hold them in your hand like this, so you have some added weight, pretending I'm holding dumbbells. Or if you have access to a barbell, you can also start doing deadlifting either from a squat rack, so from a rack, or from the floor if you have good hip mobility. So those are the two lower body exercises that I'd start with, either the squat or the deadlift, and then we'll be adding on more exercises for the upper body. So as I mentioned, guys, we want to be time effective with this workout, as well as giving you the best results for the time you put in. And so these next couple of exercises do just that. And a lot of the time we avoid them because they're considered to be too hard, or we've tried them before and our form wasn't that good, and so we maybe end up hurting ourselves, or they just felt horrible. So with that in mind, I urge you to reconsider taking a look at the press up, because it really is such an awesome full body exercise and will give you so many benefits. And I'd like to, if you're new to press ups, I like to do them with the body upper elevated, okay? So rather than doing them from your knees, because you just get better mechanics that way. So here you can just take a chair, or if you're training at a gym, a weight bench. And what you want to be thinking of here is keeping your body in one complete line through the movement. And for this particular video, I'm just going to stick with showing you guys what's called upper body elevated negative press ups, because those are the easiest ones to learn. And then in subsequent videos, I'll show you how to progress those. So basically what you want to be doing here is you want to be coming into a plank position. You want to get in touch with your shoulders. You want to feel like you're squeezing your quads and your glutes. But squeezing the quads is very, very important. And you also want to do what's called a posterior pelvic tilt. So you do not want to stick your butt out like this. This is very, very common. Okay? You want to draw your tailbone down towards your heels and keep it there. Taking an inhalation, go ahead and push the chair away. Exhaling, you're then going to almost do like you're going to roll yourself down to the very outer corner, or rather outer edge of your chair. Okay, you're going to do that on exhalations. This is what's called a negative press up. Inhaling, pushing away with the hands. Exhaling, coming right onto the toes, squeezing those quads. Exhaling, shh, and lowering yourself down to the chair. So it's almost like that you're, depending on how big of a platform you have, you want to be thinking about lowering your lower belly to the edge closest to you, and almost you want to be pushing your chest way past the edge that's furthest away from you. Okay, so I find that those two cues actually help with keeping the mechanics correct. So let's go ahead and do that again. Inhaling, pushing away. Exhaling, coming right onto the toes, squeezing the quads. Shh. Lowering yourself down and coming back onto your knees. So you want to be thinking about doing one set of press-ups, and then you want to be thinking of doing another movement for the upper body, which is complementary. And that is, yes, you guessed it, the pull-up. So after you've been working your negative press-ups, you now want to start thinking about working your body in the vertical plane. And so this is where the negative pull-up comes into play. So by doing a negative pull-up, you're going to build a lot of strength, which is the good news about these. They're very, very effective. And all it is coming to your pull-up bar. Here I've got a simple one in the doorway of my house. You're going to take an inhalation here. Exhaling, you're going to jump up so that your chest is to the bar, and then you're going to lower yourself down slowly. So you want to make sure that you are pushing your hips forward slightly and feeling your back as you lower down. And then your feet touching the floor, and then go ahead and repeat. Now, if you find that it's a little bit scary to jump up to the bar, then feel free to have like a little stool or something so you don't have to jump up as far. If you also find that your feet touch before your arms fully straighten, it's okay to start off with that, but over time you want to eventually start doing the negative pull-ups like this. So jumping yourself up to the bar, then crossing your legs, and then slowly lowering yourself down. So you're keeping, though, deep core engagement as you straighten your arms, okay? Because when you do a negative pull-up, what's going to happen is that your back is going to arch because your legs are crossed behind you. So you want to try to maintain that feeling of having a nice strong core with straight legs. Memorize what that feels like. And then as you feel more confident with those, go ahead and do the version with the bent legs. And you're going to cross your legs back behind you and really engage your core and feel your back as you lower down. So I'd like to finish off this strength training sequence with a little bit of a core exercise. And a simple one to do is something called the PALLOF press. So you're going to take a resistance band and attach it to a doorknob or any other kind of object that's not going to move. And what you're going to do is that you're going to pull on the band to get some tension, inhaling here, exhaling, assuming an athletic position, and you're going to push the band away. Inhaling, bringing the band towards you, exhaling, push, and see if you can also squeeze your glutes as you do this. So you want to do about 3 sets of 10 on each side. So what I mean by that is that once you've actually done 10 on this side, you're then going to go ahead and switch and move in the opposite direction. So you have to kind of position yourself just to make sure that that's actually going to work. So the PALLOF press is a really great core exercise to do. Another exercise that I like to finish off with is the hanging leg raise, or in this case, hanging knee raises. So here you're going to come back to your pull-up bar. You're going to come into a nice hanging position here, making sure that you've got some awareness in your scapula, you're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. And you're just going to bring the knees into the chest, like this. Inhaling, exhaling, knees into the chest. So nice, slow, and controlled. And once again, I do about 3 sets of 10. Once you've progressed from bringing the knees into the chest, you can actually start to do hanging leg raises, which I don't really, where you're doing the same movement with straight legs. I don't really recommend doing it from a bar like this because it's just too dangerous and it might actually slip out from the doorway. So if you're going to be doing hanging leg raises, make sure that you maybe do those at a playground, like at a jungle gym bar with a fixed bar, or at a gym. This workout I've shown you is simple, flexible, and you can adapt it according to your level. So a lot of people think that if you train really, really hard and the workout leaves you feeling sore, then that's a better workout. And nothing really could be further from the truth. The most important thing is something that you can actually do consistently and build on piece by piece, so you actually get the benefits in the long term. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.